Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Never Open Podcast, the podcast open to everyone, especially Alex Coughlin. And I'm going to miss you, buddy. My name is Luke. I'm your host of the Never Open Podcast, and with me, as always, is... It's hard to do that with the harmonica in my mouth. Oh, well. Mr. Andy, say hello, Mr. Guy.
Hello, Mr. Guy. Hello, Luke. Hello to the listeners. It is very early in the morning for me, like surprisingly early. You'd be surprised at how early it is. But we're going to talk a little NetherRealm today. It is very sad that Alex C had to retire.
Yeah.
I don't know. We had heard that rumor a while ago, but like we don't spread rumors, so we didn't really talk about it. But that's unfortunate. I'm sad. That cage match was kind of dumb.
Yeah. Man, Hanari's still injured as well. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
He has recently resurfaced, but I think it's just to push his like pre-workout or something. I don't know. I'm not sure.
He can work out again so he can pimp his workout stuff. So
that's fair. Yeah. You know, when Ishimori like broke his neck, he was still posting workout videos every day almost. It's like
it's a broken freaking neck.
How are you running?
How does he do that? I don't know. It's just NetherRealm, everyone. I don't have to be professional. I'll talk about wrestling. This is just Andy and I hanging out. It's nighttime for me, so I get to have some drinks as well, which I don't usually get to do when we do podcasting. Except for that time we did the Best of the Super Juniors.
Yeah, there's been a few times, you know, and those are out there if you want to listen to them. So, but hopefully, you know, pretty soon it'll be that time of year where it's reasonable. You know, for us to record in my morning, because a lot of times it just isn't. It's just not reasonable. It's like, oh, you have to get up at 4 a.m. to do that. And it's like, that's difficult. It's not 4 a.m., but it's pretty early today. But, you know, it's my day off. I got a few things going on today, but they're all like in the morning. So
there you go. And you get the afternoon to, I don't know, what are you going to do? Probably chill out and play Red Dead Redemption 2 again.
I'm going to fuck around. I'll tell you that much. I'll probably be playing a little guitar. You know, I'll probably play some video games. But I started Cyberpunk again. I played through it once already. And to be honest with you, I didn't listen to the dialogue very much. So, like, I was, like, in one of the, like, Cyberpunk message boards. And, like, all the posts are saying these words. And I don't know what any of them mean because I didn't listen to any of the dialogue. So this time I'm paying a little closer attention, not all the way, but a little bit.
You don't want to play the story in these worlds. You just want to live in these worlds and just hang out. That's what I'm getting from you with video games. That's all right.
Yeah.
Something wrong with that.
And chop things up with a sword. Don't forget that part, you know.
Yes, the sword part is necessary. All right. I'd rather shoot things, but
well, I mean, you could do that. You could do both in Cyberpunk. You can literally you can't dual wield a sword and a gun, I don't think, but you can almost do that. So
I got Cyberpunk when it came out. It was borderline. No, it was unfinishable and unplayable. I took it back, and I'll never buy another game from that company ever again. So I am happy that people have found love for that game, but I got it when it came out, and I felt like I got fucked over.
And so, did you get your money back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, do they owe you anything? Like,
well, a good game on release would be nice. Like,
well, yeah, but you got your money back, so
yeah, that's true. But,
it's my job to talk you out of every strong opinion you have. By the way, so I have no dog in this fight. I just think the game's okay.
I was just thinking, like, the next time you feel like reading a book, that's when you should play Disco Elysium.
Yeah, I played it a little bit. I owned it for a while. Tried to play it a few times, but the problem is I need to have something else going on. I can't just play a video game. I got to have the TV on with a game. I got to have a podcast playing. Sometimes I got the game on with no sound and the podcast playing or a YouTube video playing. And then I'm like, oh, okay.
You sound like me, but I got two different kinds of games that I play. I've got my chill out games where it's podcast time or something is on in the background. Then I've got like, all right, now I need a story game. That's probably why you didn't get to New Vegas, because it's not much about exploration. It's
Yeah, I
more
don't
about
give a fuck.
chatting to people. And you're just like, I've got this conversation muted, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, I'm playing video games, so I don't have to talk to people. I like talking to you, and you're one of the only people in the world I like to talk to. So it's like, I don't want to talk to fake people. They're the worst. I mean, like I run into those all the time too. So,
all right, but just it's like a book that you play. That's Disco Elysium. I don't know, man.
I mean, I've enjoyed story games many times. It's just been a lot of years since that's been the case. Video games for me are something that where I can just kind of shut my brain off and relax. I don't want to be challenged. In fact, if the other team on Madden like scores a couple times, I'm quitting. Better believe I'm quitting, because I'll get mad, and I'm not playing video games to get mad. That's like
that's me. If there's an easy mode on a video game, I'm putting it down to fucking easy mode. Why? Because I want to have a fucking fun time.
Yeah, I don't want to try the same. I mean, like, okay, so you fuck up, you die. You got to do the spot over. I don't want to do the spot over. That's
no. I want to see the next spot.
Right. So
yeah. So I remember trying Elden Ring, which is one of those like Souls-like games, and I played it for a few weeks. And my thing is, I see why people love that game, but I can't do it.
Hard.
Like it became rather than me, I'm going to chill out and play some Elden Ring. No, I'm going to do some work now.
Right.
Like, I don't want to go to work.
If you have to study, it's not a game, is it? It's kind of more a competition of sorts, except it's you versus the computer, you versus same dog that is froth at the mouth, or an ancient bear, and you got to fucking kill it, and it takes 30 tries, Fuck that.
Wait, though, you can't, you skip through like every cutscene and shit like that as well?
I mean, if I played the game before, oh yeah. Skip through the cutscenes, I want to get to the shooting and the walking and the riding the horses and the driving the cars, that's the fun part. There's a really cool thing you can do in Cyberpunk where you get this like mod on your legs where you can do a double jump, right? Which makes it kind of breaks the game a little bit, because now you can just jump over everything, and you can jump off of shit. And before you hit the ground, you do a little double jump, and it just makes you land. So you can just jump off of anything, and it's kind of, I don't know, it reminds me of one of my other favorite games, which you don't like this one, I guess, but Saints Row 4, one where the aliens attack. I like
Saints Row 4. Awesome. It's a good game. It's just not Saints Row 2, which is one of my favorite games of all time. And Michael Dorn is like this gangster boss that you have to fight. It's awesome.
He's right up there. He's up there. He's looking down on us right now, Michael Dorn.
He's agreeing. Mm-hmm. He says people who don't like Saints Row 2 are without honor. I can hear him say right now.
You know how he agrees? He says, indeed. Even though he's not the guy from, Stargate, who also says indeed and is in video games.
He's your
guy,
Boy. Yeah. That's what is it? God of War? Yeah. I don't know. They're all right.
So God of War, great example. My PlayStation 5 that I bought last year came with God of War on it. I'm like, try it. Like 10 minutes in, I'm like, I want to play this game. I don't want to watch it. It's like, and I know it'd probably get good if I could put a couple hours into it, but it felt like work. Maybe I'll get back to it one day. I'm not there yet.
Man, I've experienced that kind of thing with games before. I want you to grab me now, not fucking 10 hours from now. Now, God damn it. So yeah.
Have you played Ghost of Tsushima?
No, I don't really play PlayStation games that much.
All right.
Usually switch to the Xbox. Sorry.
I mean, it starts with a huge battle on the fucking beaches of this island, and the Mongolian ships are coming in, and there's all this fucking fire and arrows everywhere, and you're riding around on a horse cutting people with a sword, and it's like, this is what this game can be, and that's it's one of the coolest parts of the game, but it's not the coolest part of the game. Then you get into what it actually is, and it slows down. But that opening thing kind of gives you like a hey, it's like having a great, curtain jerker match where dudes are flipping all over the place and not doing every move, but they're doing lots of really cool shit just to get the crowd pumped so we can settle in for a nice show.
Does that game have a wimp mode as well?
Oh yeah.
And I'm fully aware that it is a mode for wimps, and I am that in video games. Yeah.
It has a kind of like combo you can do too, with like this little smoke bomb thing, and then the bow that kills everyone. And if you can get this little combo down, you can kill anybody at any time. It's like, but at the same, I don't ever really use that because I'm bad at combos. I'd rather just smash the buttons. But the sword fighting is fantastic. It's very reminiscent of The Way of the Samurai, the greatest samurai game series of all time. And that's my review of Ghost of Tsushima. Thanks for coming to our video game podcast.
That's right. Well, yes, that's right. I don't know. I've just been playing a lot of old games recently because I feel like new games, they either come out unfinished or they want you to give them extra money for, I don't know, blue or bullshit like that.
Yeah.
So, Saints Row 2, I've been playing again. Yeah, but it should be like free, customizable and shit. Like, get out of here. I'm not paying extra for blue or red or green. Just give me the fucking color.
What about gold? Gold's really expensive. You gotta get the gold.
Gold press platinum. That's right.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. No, I remember beating Yakuza 0 on easy mode, and it must have, like, I felt like it was an accomplishment, especially when my Xbox said achievement unlocked. Only 4% of people have finished Yakuza 0.
That is such a bunch of horseshit.
So, like, at least on the Xbox, but a lot of people have played it, but not a lot of people have seen. They're little fucking long games, man. Like, you better put aside all the other games for ages. They're good though.
I'll get into it at some point. I'm like I said, I'm playing through Cyberpunk for the second time. I'll probably play through it like 6 more times, and then I'll buy a new game. Maybe 7. We'll see.
Yeah, Disco Elysium, and then Saints Row 2 again. Because
hey, that ain't a bad rotation, man. Not bad at all.
I can take any car I want, take it to the thing, get it pimped out as exactly as I want, any color I want, and there's no added cost. It's like all in the game for free. Imagine that.
Well, I like it when you have to earn it through playing the game. Like, for example, if I want a new sword in Cyberpunk, I got to go kill someone to fight it, or I got to save up money in the game and buy it that way.
Well, you got to make money you got to make money in Saints Row as well. Like, you can't just
it's fun.
Yeah, you got to play the game. It is fun. Speaking of a fun game, Mr. Guy, who was hesitant of talking wrestling on our NetherRealm, but there is a match.
I hate talking about wrestling.
Yeah, that's right. Me too. We've done it hundreds of times.
I know.
But there is a match set for Hamamatsu for the King of Pro Wrestling. I didn't realize there was a fucking election because I didn't realize, because it made it seem like Tonga Loa, the promo we gave, right? It made it seem like, I'll let you decide.
Right. You mean the promo that he gave like after the New Japan Cup, when it was like, hey, you're gonna get a challenge for this match for the King of Pro Wrestling, and that Tonga Loa was like, I don't care what we do, but now he does care. And
was I right? Like, I don't know what the results are, Mr. Guy, but let me just ask you this. My prediction was that, well, my theory was that Tonga Loa didn't want to make any match stipulations because he knew that he would get just fucking smashed in the fucking polls. So, was it close, or did Great-O-Khan lay a smackdown in the polls?
Great-O-Khan destroyed him in the polls. So, yeah, well, let's go over Tonga Loa's, like, his idea was the King of Kaiju match, and I don't know, it was like, I am big, no, you are big, and that's the match or something. So I didn't even read what it was, but that was
He likes to make himself look like he's a big dude, and he looks like a big dude too. But all these moves are him trying to do flippy stuff and landing on his head.
That's true. That's pretty good.
Sorry. All right. So it was wow, we're big match. All right. I reckon Greater Khan wins there too. All right. So what was Greater Khan's winning, resounding win idea?
Well, his was okay. It's called the what is it? The Rural Revitalization in Hamamatsu match, right? And it's 3 rounds. All right. So you got round 1 is a 10-minute most covers match. So it's like the Tai Chi versus
Right.
Shingo match. So they're going to count every pinfall results in 1 point. Then round 2, a 5-minute eel eating contest. Which I guess is a local delicacy in Hamamatsu. I find that to be very funny because he just won the fit match to get the belt, and now he's like eating competition.
Oh, see, I did hear about this food match. All right, so maybe I did know. All right.
Well, so that's round 2, and then after Greater Khan wins both of those rounds, he's going to win this 3rd round. It's a strap match. So, and it's like a legit strap match. You got to touch all 4 corners. So,
all right. So I'm thinking Tongalo wins the pinning one. Greater Khan smashes it out with the eels. And then please, Greater Khan wins touching all 4 corners.
yeah, and it'll be dramatic, and food will somehow be involved. It's just will be. So
if it was a House of Torture match, fucking Dick Togo would grab one of them eels and choke someone around the neck with it.
Well, I think that the strap match is going to be filled with guys almost vomiting because they just ate too much. I think that's going to be the joke, is that in the 3rd match they're both going to barely be able to move because they're so full of eel or whatever. So,
all right, I'm
that's
in.
That's going to be good.
Okay, all right. Greater Khan will make it fun. Yeah. That's the serious wrestling talk. I mean, I know there's an All Together show that isn't necessarily all together because All Japan double booked themselves, idiots. But
that's pretty cool.
But it's the first event to be held under the banner of the United Japan Pro Wrestling, UJPW, I guess.
It's weird, isn't it? It's like one of the weird things about Japan, like Japanese wrestling, is that they all do shows together, but they hate each other. But they do shows together. It's like it's so weird.
It is weird because I remember when I got into New Japan, it's like they weren't doing anything with anyone, and the only thing I ever heard about them doing anything with anybody else is when they pissed off Suzuki-gun over to Noah for a couple of years, And the G1 before I started watching it, it also had like Nakajima and stuff like that, Marufuji.
That's great, G1.
Yeah, so but since I started watching 2017 until like a couple of years ago, it just felt like, nah, New Japan's New Japan only, and not going to do anything. I think the pandemic changed a lot of that. Like,
well,
maybe we need each other to help build our crowds back up and make some money.
They've always done this though. Like, this is a tradition. And like, I mean, it goes back to the old days where it's all Japan versus New Japan, and all that stuff used to happen. That's how you got like Stan Hansen versus Inoki and stuff like that. So, those shows, right? When we used to do match recommends, there'd always be some like big fight. It would be called something like that, and it would have like everybody, and like Hulk Hogan's on it or something like that, or Andre the Giant's on the show or something. And so they've always done this, but like, I don't know, it just is weird because of Western culture is you're not allowed to work on that show because you work for me. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And it's like it's very segmented typically. And so,
meanwhile, in Japan, just Kojima's going to All Japan, and Okada's going to
Kojima's, and it's fine. No one's got. He doesn't have a heat. He doesn't come back, and he does come back and have to job to people, but it's not as bad.
No, all the dads come back to job to people, but I feel like every time Kojima comes back, if he's jobbing, he's wrestling like a guy that New Japan either wants to push or is a top guy and jobbing to those. So it's different kind of jobbing for Kojima. I'm all for that.
How would you feel if the next time he returns, Boltin Oleg gets his first win and it's versus Kojima?
No.
Mm-mm. Okay.
Second win, yeah, maybe, but no, the first one.
Who's he got to beat?
I want him to gut wrench Makabe in half.
Yeah, but I mean, don't you want him to beat somebody cool?
Oh. Of course. Well, Tenzan then. On Nagata. Okay. So, you know.
Yeah, Yuji Nagata would be a good one. That's good.
Yeah. No. But not Kojima first. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, man.
I don't really care that much, about... I like Boltin Oleg as a wrestler. I'm still waiting to see, that's kind of where I am with him. I'm like, he's fun to watch in tag matches, but I'm waiting to see.
And if anyone wants to know more about the hierarchy of the dads, just at Grumpy2EB on the Tweety.
Much like Worf watches us judgingly from above, I watch wrestling judgingly from above. Still waiting to see. I know you're working hard, but I'm some guy on a couch in America.
Yeah, that's right. Who the fuck are we? There's like 3 matches for altogether. Can I mention them? I want to mention. I want to talk about them. All right, we've got by the way, listeners, if they don't work for New Japan Pro Wrestling, I'm not really good at with their names, so be aware of that. So we got Yuki Ueno, Kato Kiyomiya, and Shota Umino versus Shun Skywalker, Konosuke Takeshita, and Yuya Uemura. That's pretty gnarly. We got Takeshita coming over.
Yeah. Uena is a guy we've seen too, and he's really good, so that's fun.
We got Daisuke Sekimoto and Tomohiro Ishii versus Masa Kitamiya and Jeff Cobb. Oh, holy shit.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be awesome. Why? Okay, so every time there's one of these shows, it's Ishii versus Kitamiya. They're like, we know you want that. We're going to put it on the show. Don't worry.
Every time.
It's Kitamiya. So.
Everyone's just like, we're going to have a riot if we don't get this match. You get it every time. Just chill.
It'd be really funny if we find out one day that they're actually secretly married, and they just love each other. Or at the end of it, they just hug.
But they don't want to work together as well. So, that's why they
right. That's it's like Io Sky and Evil.
Yeah. That's those two. Yeah. All right. And the other match that has been announced for this all-together show is Naomichi Marufuji, Senshiro Takagi, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Apparently, it's the 3 presidents.
El Presidente's match.
That's right. Of Noah, Senshiro Takagi, DDT, and Tanahashi, Presidente of course, New Japan. And
why can't Taka get in there? President of ATO, get him in there. Come on.
And who would be in such a match against these 3 presidents that are probably going to also be all fan favorites? Who would we get for them to vanquish and everyone to have cheer? Oh, look. It's a motherfucking house of torture. My boys are on the card. It's Yujiro Takahashi. Yeah. Red Narita. Hey. And Evil.
Hey, and Show will be there too.
Of course. Dick Togo will be there as well. Jack probably won't, but
maybe. You never know. Yeah, they've
bitch Kanemaru as well.
I think that show will be a lot of fun, and we've often found on those shows there will be fun, goofy shit, and there will also be really, really high caliber work rate wrestling that'll be wow, fucking A, So I can't wait to see that. I'm interested. Keno's not involved, so somewhere he's devising a promo about how angry he is about that, or how he decided he didn't want to go for whatever reason. So
they have only announced 3 matches though, so
well,
might be saving the best for last, maybe.
I mean, Keno versus Naito, we need to see it without. Well, Keno would just get jobbed out again. So it's
Naito's the champ, and he's might be on his dream run right now. So New Japan's about this big. Yeah.
Well,
it's one of these.
Luke, they've also announced some stuff for Windy City Fart. And we talked about some of it last time, but I think since then, I don't think we did talk about the strong open weight challenge 4-way or the Riot Rules tag match. No DQs, members revealed on entrance. Eddie Kingston versus Gabe Kidd. So I feel like they announced something else for that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, they're looking to get as many people on this card as possible.
Fuck yeah. So Alex Coughlin cannot be on that show, probably. It would be fun if this is all a work and he just shows up and it's like, oh, you fucking marks. That'd be great, but you would assume that he would have been in this match,
Yeah. I'd love to be worked. Like, if it means he's not injured and I get to see him wrestle more, like, yeah.
Or he doesn't have a debilitating injury. I mean,
of course. That would be amazing. Like, yeah. Well, that's what I meant. Like, I want more of him. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Man, unfortunate, Wait, I did notice, like, if you go back and listen to our show, there's, like, times where we're talking about, like, Alex Coughlin taking a move weird. That, and, like, I know that sometimes, like, if a guy's got, like, a spine problem or, like, a neck problem, he might try to bump on his ass more or something. And, like, I think we might have seen a little bit of that from him. Coming up. So that's a shame. I hope he's okay. He was quite a character.
Yeah. Man, that sucks. But there's matches here. We got like El Phantasmo and Hikuleo versus
Yeah, it's gonna
be versus a bunch of Double X, and Double X. All right.
It's all Kojima. It's just Kojima comes out one after another.
With different bread.
Yes.
He's coming out with a baguette.
He's got Tenzon's mask on.
Yeah. He comes out with bagels.
That was pretty funny how every time Tenzon came out during the New Japan Cup that Gino was like, oh my God, it's Liger. That was fun.
Oh, Tenzon's my favorite. What are you, Mark? We got Nick Nemeth versus Ishii. That'll be cool.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. I mean, that's
Shooter Jack Perry will be good. And then Eddie Kingston and Gabe Kidd. Riot Rules, anything goes, I guess. Like, well, who would Gabe Kidd choose? Like his Bullet Club buddies, right?
Yeah.
So you got probably got Driller Baloney and Clark Connors and I don't know, Gato.
Is this a way to get Jack Perry back in AEW kind of too? Have him, appear? Man. Well, an attack.
I'd keep him there for a fucking year, man.
Okay,
let's go.
I'm not mad. He did mention something about Best of Super Juniors, which I thought he was a heavyweight. I mean, didn't he go for the title?
Yeah, don't you want to be in the G1, dude?
Right, but I guess I don't know.
Jack Perry, like I know that G1's said to be grueling, but
I don't want
the Best of Super Juniors is a little more grueling.
I think that spot could be used more, expertly, in my opinion. Yeah. But you get ready, Luke. Tongaloa in the G1 this year, his last one. It's happening.
Yeah, I know it's happening. So I'm either going to be like this the entire time, head in my hand like that Picard meme, or just laughing myself hysterically. Yeah, so I hope it's the more laughter one rather than the.
I mean,
holy shit!
Get ready for it. Hikuleo and Tongaloa are going to be in the same block this year, and they're going to have to wrestle each other. And people whose cares, their heart will be torn asunder.
Yeah.
And you and I will be watching.
Dude, I feel like you just wiped your ass with my fantasy dream book, and what I saw was that feud in the writing. I don't know. No, thank you.
Yeah, and then Carl Anderson and Tongaloa are returning to face those two in endless tag matches. It's going to be fantasy nightmare.
I would rather Yo and Show just like
wrestle
every show. I know.
That's been awesome, though. It's different.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. They did manage to freshen that up.
Well, and it's been like a year at least. It's been a while, So I mean, they're in the same promotion. They're going to run into each other. It's just the way it works.
Yeah, but
But what?
you say that, but they managed to string out Okada and Omega like over like a few year period rather than like do it straight away.
Okay, but that's Okada and
I
Omega.
know. I know. What I'm saying is, like, I've seen them wrestle so many times. I wish they'd stretch them out like to that degree because
I mean, they're stretching. They're stretching. So, because I mean, it was a year in between one of the, Kenny Omega. I mean, they probably had the same time frame. Actually, that was not a good example. So,
you shut up. Just
well, I
like
can't yet. Later
no.
I will shut up.
That's right. All right, cool. I'm glad.
I'll remember. I'll be like, oh, Luke told me to shut the fuck up. I will.
So, Greater Khan. I don't know. Like, I'm interested in this match. It's probably going to be funny and I'll laugh right. But I kind of miss it when it was like when we were getting like Shingo Hanare matches and Shingo Taichi matches and Shingo El Fantasma matches.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of mix up where it got like, yeah, we're going to do goofy matches, but I don't know. Now it's just a comedy thing again with Tonga Loa going after it.
I mean, it sucks that Great Khan isn't allowed to do something cool, like those guys. But at the same time, at this point, this is what his role is in New Japan, and he's going to crush it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully he'll win and move on to something better. Because I would like to see him. I guess this is going to be his thing this year. If you have the King of Pro Wrestling title, that's like your thing for that year. So that's what he's going to be doing all year. Hopefully we'll get some actual, like never shit out of him at some point because we know he can do it.
Yeah, I want to see him do one of those torture rack backbreakers to someone for that never goal. That'd be nice.
He's going to do it to Tonga Loa, and Tonga Loa is going to be like, oh no, I'm so full of eel. And he's going to throw up all over the ring. And Chumpy is going to be the ref of that match. And he's going to be like, no. Okay.
He's going to be like, give up.
Yeah, that would be great if it started a vomit fest, and they pan over to all of a sudden it's cut to fucking Milano. He throws up in his mask and it's all over the place.
All the young lions except Bolton Oleg are puking around the fucking thing as well.
Dick Togo is about to do the dick chop, but he throws up, and we do all kinds of fun stuff with that.
That's right. Yes, it all involves the wrestlers being able to time puking just right for it all to work, which probably isn't healthy. So maybe don't do that.
There's a really funny Saturday Night Live skit from way back. It's probably in the 90s, and I think Alec Baldwin was the host. And man, I know he's a piece of shit supposedly or whatever, but man, when he hosted SNL, it was always awesome. And it was like, the skit was it's cops and they're at a murder scene. And the rookie walks up and he's like, oh, and he goes over and they have a hose attached to his wrist and he throws up. And it just goes, it's absurd amounts of fake vomit, right? Absurd. It's ridiculous. So then somebody sees that and then they start throwing up, and everybody who walks into the frame starts throwing up, and it's just people throwing up everywhere. And it's a very, very funny skit. And I have to watch it somehow, find it.
It's probably on YouTube. All the old skits are on YouTube somehow, in some way, shape, or form.
That's true.
Very much so. So that was like all the wrestling news. A dude retired, sadly.
No comment on the vomit thing. Okay, all right.
I don't know. Like, I think that's enough vomit talk. It's enough of the puking. I've got my foot down. By the way,
fantastic.
I don't do segues, everyone, so I'm just going to move on to the next thing. So don't equate it to. I think Jay's right. Jay, meaning our listener friend Jay. This Sasha Monet stuff is fucking stank.
Yeah,
it's just cutting face promos and posing and stuff. I'm like, either turn heel, which is what you're supposed to be, or just have some chick come out and fucking clock her one and set some shit up. Everyone's just like, everyone so far is like, yay, she's back. Now I'm just like, fucking do something. Get out of here.
You think they brought her back too soon, and maybe she should have gotten physical right away? Because I don't know. I'm not watching it. Has she not gotten physical with anybody yet?
No, not really. Not really at all.
That's not good.
She might have like, oh, I've done a reversal. Oh, here's my move on you or
Oh,
something. But
almost got you. That kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. But like, I said it to you when she did her first promo. I said like, this was all fine, but halfway through it, some like not your top heel, but like your secondary heel or something should have just walked out there and just
Yeah.
fucking tried to clock her one.
Yeah, and then I was saying comedy. Who's the comedy heel
Yeah.
in the women's division? Apparently, they don't have one, but they should, so they can come out and take her finisher, and we can introduce her that way. But AEW's American Wrestling brother. You know, I mean, the tradition in American wrestling is that we tell some stories in the ring, but we make you wait for that. You know, we're going to tell the story every other which way we can before we get to the ring. You got to wait.
And it's like, oh, there's a 4-way women's match on Dynamite coming up. And Monet will be on commentary. Dude, I don't want to hear her talk. It's like not like I like Monet. It's not necessarily for her fucking promos. I like watching her wrestle.
Yeah, she's a good wrestler.
Put her in that ring every fucking week. It's not fucking brain science, is it?
Yeah, wrestle every
rocket
week.
Surgery. God damn it.
You think her rocket surgery? You think her schedule is to wrestle every week?
No.
No. She's gonna be like wrestling like I don't know 10 times a year is what I'm thinking. Like
she's fucking. I don't want a fucking Monet that just cuts these weird promos and poses all the time. Turn heel. It only works. She's a fucking heel. That's
okay. So that's how we fix it. But I'm thinking before that, let's try something. All right. So, whatever your interviewer backstage, it's RJ City. He's like, oh, I'm going to welcome my guest at this time. It's Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné walks into the frame. She sees that it's RJ City. She throws up all over the place. And then RJ City starts throwing up. They cut to commentary. Right. They're throwing up. All right. They cut to the ring announcer. He's throwing up. The crowd is throwing up. Babyface run, save.
And Tony throws up, and it goes all the way into Excalibur's mask and shit. And like,
he throws up in his mask. It just comes out the eye holes. Like, oh man. See, that's my fantasy dream book for AEW.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so hard for them to put the ladies over and get the division over. I don't know. It's not like the resources. Their fucking roster now is brimming with talent. Like, do something now. Come on.
I know I don't usually talk about stuff like this, but there was a really cool article. It was Cage Side Seats. I don't know if that's a dirt sheet or if that's like a legitimate thing, but they interviewed Ronda Rousey. Or they were quoting an interview from Ronda Rousey. And she has a new book coming out, and she kind of spills the beans on, UFC. And if you're interested in her as a fighter, it's a very interesting article, but also she talks about WWE and how it was a shit show and how like the first match she had like a month or maybe longer to prepare for it. And that match
I remember that.
Awesome.
It was the tag match, right?
So good. Yeah. And like,
yeah.
Right. And, there was a cool story along with it. I thought that was a fantastic angle. And then, she says that they would show up to the show. Like, now if she goes to the show, they show up and they still haven't even told her what she's doing. And it's the problem is that when they bring people in there that, they're so special at first. And then a month later, they're just some guy, you know what I mean? And that's kind of the problem. But
yeah, here's Ruby Soho. Yep. She's just another person now. Here's Paige. Yep. She's just there now. Yeah. I don't want them to be just there. Build them up and do stuff with them. Come on, man.
All of them.
Yeah. At the same time.
Yeah. They all need to win the championship.
I'm not saying that. Come on.
I'm just playing, Luke. It's fun.
I know. But if I feel like I can book your division better than you can, you've done something wrong. So,
my point with the Ronda Rousey talk was that it seems like that's a problem everywhere, right? Except for like Stardom, because they're all women or, something like that. But even them, they probably push the same people, so I don't know. It's kind of frustrating, but I don't watch it anyway. So
No, that's true. So, but you still have to hear me whinge and whine about Okada. So,
Yeah.
there is that. That's never going to end, dude. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't understand how you could possibly be mad that Okada's in AEW or not enjoy it. It looks like it's pretty awesome. And he's like with his guys, and I'm sure he's getting treated great. But guess what, Luke? Pretty soon, he'll be just some guy, probably. You know?
Dude, I'm sorry, but he gets a fucking rub and tug everywhere he goes and gets his ass kissed. Like, get out of here. I think I'd be more into it if he left New Japan on his fucking back like a proper wrestler should. So I'm still annoyed by that. I'm sorry.
Never let it go. Never.
Nah. You leave on your back. Like, I'll allow it with Sting because, well, it's fucking Sting. And fuck you, I'm a hypocrite. I'm complex, bitch. Shut up.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not wrong. He had plenty of
Ospreay did
opportunities.
it. Do you think it's hurt him
Right.
going to AEW at all? No. They've put him. He's in a feud with Bryan Danielson. So, like, that's the next pay-per-view. Them two wrestling.
Wow.
So, do you think him jobbing out on his way out of New Japan hurt him? No. None of the fucking fan base at AEW fucking watch that. Doesn't matter.
And if they did, all they watched was the cage match, and they thought, "Oh, New Japan's awesome." These guys try to kill each other. It's like,
yeah, no. So, give me 100 matches with Evil pulling the same shenanigans all the time, and nobody gets hurt over a match where, like, I'm not saying it led to it, but yeah, there you go. It's my mother-in-law. There you go. If it's I don't know. Man, that match. That's infamous now, isn't it?
Yeah.
That cage match.
For the wrong reasons. You're not going to, like, a year from now, 5 years from now, we're not going to think of that match and go, wow, wasn't that awesome? We're going to think of it and go, fucking that match.
No. So when that match was touted, right, it was like, this is going to be the first cage match in 20 years. I wonder if you and I, if we were to go back and watch that first cage match, that cage match would be fucking half the motherfuckers in this match were injured for months and
probably
fucking
not. Yeah.
wanted to reply. Because if that was the case, like, maybe there's a reason they only do this once every 20 years, not because it's special. It's just like, motherfuckers got hurt.
Well, I think that all the guys in that match thought to themselves, well, this is only going to happen like once. We're not going to get to do this again. So let's do all those ideas you got. We're doing them all. And so instead of shaving it down, to the good stuff, that would remain necessarily, I think that they just decided to throw absolutely everything in there, which I'm not mad at them about, but, didn't work out. Just all I'm saying.
No.
Yeah, doing too much,
Man, that's a fucking shame. It really sucks.
Yeah.
But
it's all right, Luke. It's going to be okay.
So what do we do now? It's like, well, we got Gabe Kidd now. We got to push him as a singles dude. We're going to give him a new tag partner. What are we going to do here? Because, like, I think you've got, like, David Finlay can be your heavyweight guy as long as he doesn't get hurt again.
I think the smart move here is to get those junior tag belts off of the mini war dogs, all right, and move Dan Baloney to heavyweight, right? And then he is
and then you can have Clark Connors tagging and hanging out with Ishimori, which is probably be a good thing for Clark Connors anyway. There you go.
I like it. Ishimori and ELP was awesome. Ishimori and Clark Connors would be awesome too.
Yeah.
And those guys are definitively juniors. And then you got Dan Baloney moving up. But I mean, we'll see. I don't know. Usually they don't move people. Well, nowadays they do move people up for no reason. And then sometimes they bring them back down when they move themselves up. Like TJP. What happened there?
Dude, I was so high on Catch 2-2, right? Like, oh my God, they're the best junior tag team in ages. They're awesome. They've made TJP interesting. It's like, oh my God, I'm loving this. And then he starts going off about how, oh no, I'm the leader of this group and I'm also a heavyweight and the stuff and I do all the things. And then, like, Akira's just like, hey, I'm right here. What the fuck? And I was like, yeah, what the fuck? So I just became an Akira fan now, and I was like, what are they doing?
Well,
Why'd they
Akira,
mess with the Cats 2-2? Like, man, they should have pushed that a lot longer, I feel.
I think like Akira and Callum Newman are like the same guy, but Akira's like a year or two ahead of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as far as like they're both going to be like heavyweight dudes at one. Well, Callum Newman already is, but I think Akira's also going to be a heavyweight at one point after winning Best of Super Juniors once or something like that. I would love to see him win Best of Super Juniors. Remember, like his story progression is heading that way because last year he couldn't win with the injury, but he earned the crowd's respect. This year he can win with the injury if it happens, right? I hope
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
He's one of my fantasy dream book. All right. Number one with the bullet is Doki, of course. Hey, if
With
you're
a
going to have a
ninja
fantasy dream, that's right. Yeah. Look, if you got a dream big.
That's
It's
true.
Doki. But part of me is just like, oh, can it be? I mean, I'd love it to be Robbie Eagles as well, but we don't see him that often. So I don't know, Akira. I'd love Akira to win it and beat El Desperado in the tournament. All he has to do in this tournament for me for a bit of progression would be to beat El Desperado in it.
That's true.
That would be enough.
Who's going to beat Master Wato? Nobody.
Nobody. He can't even defend his crown.
Was that going to be the whole thing? Was it going to be Desperado and Master Wato? They meet in the finals of the Best of Super Juniors, and because they've been tag partners, it's like it's these guys explode, and that's the finals, and Wato beats Desperado and wins it again.
Sucks to see Despy in holding pattern city, isn't it? It's weird.
Hanging out with nerds. That's the problem, man. He is hanging out with nerds now, and it's like, come on.
And it doesn't work without the cool nerd.
I mean, you're talking about Master
Wato.
He was the glue that was holding, Desperado to the, team unaffiliated. Now that glue is gone.
Man, it sucks to see him floundering. He should be like, if not the top guy of the division, like the second top guy. He seems pretty far down at the moment.
I mean, and
lost his title and a count out.
The pipe dream of him joining the heavyweights, I'm giving up on that too, because it's like if they were gonna do it, they would have done it, and it's like
No, instead they wanted TJP to be in the fucking best.
Or he wanted. He went into business for himself, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, Despy would have at least made it to the second round.
Company guy.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We've talked a lot of wrestling. There you go.
Yeah, I know.
That's pretty nice.
Gross.
I know.
I start throwing up, and then you start throwing up. and then Wilma walks in the frame behind you. She throws up on the rug. I mean, wow. I got Hanma throws up from behind me.
He doesn't look like he's throwing up in that picture, dude.
Just judging. He's very. He's This is the picture. This is like when he gets the Kokeshi, right? When he misses the Kokeshi, right? So I can express myself when I'm sad.
He's not missing the Kokeshi there. He's just sniffed one of Yoshihashi's farts.
He's wearing IWGP tag belts, it looks like. But I thought this was when he won the Never title, but I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Either way, he's happy. So
he's very happy. Actually, he's happy to win the titles. Then you turn it over, and that's when he realizes he's won it with Makabe. No, it's terrible, man. It's not good. But yeah, what about you, Mr. Guy? What would you like to talk about?
I mean, I could tell you a little bit about a television show I've been watching. All right, and kind of like obsessively, I've been watching brain melting amounts of television, which my brain is melted normally, so it's fine. And that is, I've been watching a little TV show called The Traders. It is a competition reality show, which is not something I normally watch. Like, I don't watch shit like that. I'm like, that's stupid. I am Worf. I am judging you. And My sister said it was good. I started watching it and I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. It's like they get a bunch of people in a house and like there's good people and there's bad people. There's faithful and there's traitors. But the faithful don't know who the traitors are, and the traitors meet every night and kill somebody off, right? But the faithful once a day get to vote off who they think is a traitor, and they fuck it up every time, and it's so fun to watch because it's like it's a really complicated dynamic, and so it's kind of interesting behavior wise just to watch what people do. But the fact that some of these people are just so good at lying that they can absolutely misrepresent themselves to people that they really care about to win money, and that's kind of what the like game's about, and it's really fun.
Holy shit!
Highly recommend it.
All right, it's on the radio. The Traitor. Okay.
There's a UK version which was my favorite because especially season 1, because everybody bursts into tears every 5 seconds, just like, hey, how you doing? Ah! You know, it's so funny. And so because it's really intense. Like that's the thing about the show is that everyone in the show is like they're just like exhausted and they look like they're gonna, you know, they're very, very worn out by this whole situation because it's very complicated. But I think you'll like the challenges too, because they're always like one of my favorite ones is that there's a church on the grounds of the castle and it has a giant bell at the top or bells at the top. And so they play songs, but they have to listen from like a mile away to figure out what song it is and then play it like on a little piano or something that they have in the house. It's like shit like that's really cool. There's a lake, Loch Gloss, that they go to all the time. But also, Luke, there's an Australian version. And they don't go to the Scotland. They have their own, like, you know, Australian place where people get murdered. But it's good too.
Yeah, they probably really do get murdered though by the fucking spiders.
That's right.
Or the snakes.
And the kangaroos. But
the fucking 8-packs, yeah.
I thought it was interesting because in the first episode of the Australian one, everybody shows up at the castle and everybody has a different didgeridoo. Which, you know, I mean, I know everybody's got one down there. So it was interesting just to see them all together and see who could play what.
Yeah, yes, we all have didgeridoos in, Mr. Guy. Yes, it's true. There's kangaroos going past the house as we speak.
Are you gonna eat some dimmies later?
Dimmies, yeah. Like dimmies is like, yeah, that's what we call dim sims. But we also got a kind of El Cheapo variety store called Dimmies as well. Yeah, they're shit. They're pretty crap.
But Dimmies is everywhere. So when you say, "Oh, I'm going to Dimmies," that's like rich man, poor man, right? That could be a great thing, or it could be terrible, right? So I like it.
Like there's no restaurant or anything called Dimmies. Like you just go to a fish and chip shop or just any takeaway, and they probably got dim sims there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you should watch The Traitors because it's fucking awesome.
All right.
It's great. You know.
See, I've been wanting to get into shows with Charity lately, but she's kind of closing in on finishing her PhD, so she's all in fucking
slightly more important than The Traitors.
Yeah. So she might be finished in October, and I'm like, well, if it's a new show, we need a show to watch. So,
okay.
So
I'm literally watching like 14 shows right now.
Yeah,
it's insane.
I think I'm watching 2 shows at the moment. Like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm watching X-Men and then just really old Doctor Who's ad nauseum, rinse, repeat ones that I've seen over and over again since.
Well, isn't there new Doctor Who coming out soon? I read a thing and they said the Doctor is back.
Yes.
Yeah. When's that happening?
It's next month, I think. Yep, mid-May.
Do you have it timed out so you're going to be watching the last episode or whatever the last season was, and then boom, the next night here he is?
I'm not going to rewatch the lead up because like I've seen this Doctor's first story and it wasn't for me. It wasn't my favorite.
Oh, so did Ibushi like show up and beat everybody or something?
It was maybe a little too magic-y, and like Doctor Who's a family show usually, so sometimes an episode, especially if it's a Christmas special, it might be a little bit more geared to younger viewers, and I didn't gel with it. Actually, I didn't even like the new assistant the Doctor has, and I didn't like So, but you can't write a new Doctor off from his first story. You got to give him a couple. I'm just hoping. Yeah,
You're
it
in the
gets.
stage where you're still considering and you're not there yet. That's just like me and Bolton Oleg. It's okay.
See, but Doctor Who's like my favorite sports team, right? I'm gonna watch it, whether I'm kind of loving it or not. Even when I stopped watching the new series because I wasn't digging it, I have subsequently gone back and watched it all. So, yeah, I'm sad like that.
That's fair.
My favorite. Like, I'm still biased. My favorite stuff's all the old cheap shit from '63 to '89. But I do still enjoy.
Yeah, the guy's hair was awesome.
Yeah, which one? But
the guy with the big hair. He looked like I always got him mixed up with like old pictures of Roger Daltrey because he had the big hair too, and I was like, they kind of look the same.
Right, you talking about John Pertwee or the dude with the scarf, like
Doctor Who?
Right. Yeah, that's
as specific as I can be. So I'm sorry.
So yeah, I'm always optimistic. Like, it can always change genres and themes and like in an instant, episode to episode. So you never know what you're going to get. So if you don't like one episode, there's a good chance you might like the next one.
Okay. Well, I mean, another show I've been watching, which is wrapping up. There's 2 episodes left, and my God, it's been great. Is Tokyo Vice. Holy shit, dude. It's wild. It's like I'm always fascinated with Japanese culture and stuff, but not. I'm not obsessed with it or anything, but I like to learn about it. And there's some interesting things about Yakuza culture that I had never even heard of, that's going on in the show. And like, then you look it up and it's real. You're like, oh my God, it's about a real dude. It's dramatized, of course. And it's, but it's about a real dude who in like the early 2000s, he moved to Japan. It became the first reporter for like the biggest newspaper in Tokyo. And he did that by working his way into the Yakuza and writing like, pieces about organized crime from the inside kind of thing. And it's got Ken Watanabe in it. I mean, how can you not watch it? It's fucking awesome, dude. It's so good. And they're kind of getting to the end. The show opens with them like having a sit down with the Yakuza, and they're like, these articles you've been writing, we want you to stop. That's the beginning of the show. Here we are 2 seasons later, almost to the end, and we finally got up to that scene again, which I know you hate that device, but it's awesome, dude. It's awesome.
It's just like I'd rather the suspense be them getting up to that point rather than knowing they get up to that point. And
it's cool though. It's good.
All right. Tokyo Vice is what you said it was. See, I want to watch that now, and I want to watch Shogun.
Yeah, Shogun's awesome too. And both those shows are at least 50% or more in Japanese, which is fun too. So,
no, that's good. That's all right. I think the standard setting for the Yakuza games is all in Japanese with subtitles, and I didn't think I'd get into a game that was like fully subtitled, but
I mean that
locks me in. Now
makes me have to look at the screen, right?
Yeah, that's what I found.
Which kind of locks me into the like if I watch something with subtitles that is in another language, I will subconsciously be fooling myself into paying very close attention, So
I'll let you know a little secret, Mr. Guy. I have to pay attention more when it's only Japanese commentary than I do when there's English commentary.
Hey, good call.
I just do. So yeah, because like it's also easier to write notes when there's English commentary. So if I miss something, I'm like, they talked about it at least.
Yeah.
And I know to hope for a gift pretty soon or something like that. But because there's no 10-second fucking rewind button on World anymore.
I know, right? Yeah.
Why did you take that away from me? I've got to write notes for my podcast. Oh, fuck, I just missed the finish. Now I've got to wait until the show's over to watch what happened yet. Oh, it was just Jiro getting pinned. Big fucking deal. But no, I still got to fucking reliably report on it.
I mean,
accuracy. At least, it's just give me the fucking 10-second button. I don't give a shit about seeing, fucking Yoshihashi's fucking entrance in the next match. Just let me rewind 10 seconds so I can see how the fucking finish went down. It's so annoying. Why? Where's my 10-second button? Where is it?
You know what you could do? Sometimes me and my buddy will do this with sports, right? Is that you start the game and then you just hit pause, right? And it's playing live, but you just pay no attention to it. Then after an hour or so, you walk over, you start the game, and you can fast forward through the commercials. You can fast forward through any bullshit until you catch up with it live. I wonder if I could do that with New Japan. Bet I could.
It doesn't even have the bar at the bottom now, so you can kind of grab it and rewind it. Why don't you do that? They want you to watch live and just live. Well, I look down sometimes to write notes and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. I think sometimes the notes I have of the shows tend to be better now these days when I don't watch live and have to watch the next day or something, because then I can hit the fucking pause button. But the 10-second rewind used to be a lifesaver for me. So I don't have to freaking annoyingly go back and like check something I missed because I had to write that fucking Yujiro bit some dickhead's hand again for the billionth time, you know? Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's I like the new service. It's fine. I don't have any problems with my feed anymore. And that's also my internet's been fixed as well. But so it's all good. I just I want my 10-second rewind. There's not even any commercials in this anyway. They don't advertise anymore.
No.
Dream Watch Saint.
Great. I like it. They don't even have the fucking intermissions anymore. It's tremendous.
Oh, I don't miss the intermissions, but like I like those cute commercials they have where like this Japanese lady, it's like the biggest Tanahashi mark of all time, got all his merch, and then like just walk by him, past him down the street, totally blanks him.
She had a smiley face on her crotch for some reason too. It's so funny.
Yeah, no, that is something that happens. Yep. See, I miss those. Like, you don't even get the really goofy ones that had like Taguchi or Young Lion, Yoda Suji, and Honma, and they're all going like, here's how you behave at wrestling shows.
Yeah.
Here's the rules of wrestling. Oh, this is a DQ. Oh, this is illegal and it's not allowed.
Liger's dressed up like a cop telling them, no.
They could do fucking anything. Instead, it's fucking half an hour of man,
you're like, what can I complain about?
Yeah,
I need to find something that way down here that's like, oh, what's this? All right,
it's down there. It's down there with the.
Let's bring this up.
Down there with my collection of dead horses that I pick up. I've done Tongaloa. Nope. What is it? Yes, that annoying music in the first half hour.
He should change his music, right? Tamatonga. You know, that's a dead horse that you've beaten.
Cutthroat era. It still said it, and it had noises. Oh my goodness, no.
See, there you go. You love beating a dead horse, you know.
Yeah, I do. That's right.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Stop! He's already dead. I know. That's right. Damn straight. I have a collection of them now. It's lovely.
Yep. Well, Luke, we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about the wrestling, we talked about TV, we talked about the movies and the vidges.
And the vidgy games.
Vidgy games. That's
video games.
That's what my grandpa used to call them when I was a kid. You gonna play the vidya? That's what he used to say. So when Hank Hill called them the vidya games, I just about shit my pants when I heard that for the first time. I was like, oh my god, my grandpa pretty much did that, but he dropped the games altogether. Just vidges. You're gonna play the vidges.
Vidges. You can play the vidges.
He had Atari at his house, right? And I liked to play the Atari quite a bit.
Yeah, 2600, baby.
I mean, it's as far back as I can remember. It was the one 3600 or something, because it looks like it's made of wood paneling. This fucking video game console. And
what does our futuristic game tech need on it? It needs fake wood paneling.
I mean, it was very popular in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I played a lot of games on there. I think my favorite game was football. There was a football game and it was fun, and I like to play the computer, but then my cousin would show up. No mercy. He was like 4 years older than me. No mercy. He would just murder me at the games, and it would make me so mad. that I would rage quit. And that's where, when we were talking about video games at the beginning, that's where it all comes from.
Yeah, I think I've been both guys in that situation. I've been the I'm going to destroy you, and I've been the destroyed. But I do remember, like, one of my best mates. He loves the fucking FIFA soccer games, right? And I don't know, maybe we're mid to late teenagers. We're playing the latest one. I don't ever buy sports games. I don't. Nothing blows up. There's no story. It's just fucking soccer.
I love them.
But he liked to play that game every time I was over his house. So you know what? I fucking went to a fucking game store and I bought a cheap copy of that game. And I played my ass off. And then I remember going over to his house and then, like, all right, it's a little even. And I kind of worked out how he liked to play and his style, because, like, I got decent enough at the game to kind of figure that out. And then he stopped playing that game with me when I scored with my goalie.
Oh my god! Why don't you get 2 points? You should. If you score with the goalie, you should get 2 points. I mean, come on, man. That's like, it's a cool. I love it too when it happens, and like everybody's chasing the ball but it's going so slow, but they can't catch up to it, and it still just goes in the.
But the flip side of that is any fighting game where I'm like, you know what, I'm actually going to try and get into a fighting game, like a Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, and I'll learn some combos. I feel like I'm doing well, and then there's another one of my mates who's just like, I'm going to play like this, and he kicks my ass.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I don't think fighting games are for me. I'm demoralized, and I never want to play them ever again. So yeah, there is
one time.
It's the humbling.
One time in my entire life, Luke, I figured something out on Street Fighter 2. And it's weird. It was at a putt-putt place, and they had a little arcade in there, and I didn't want to play putt-putt. It was like some church trip. I wanted to play Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, what are you, Mark?
So I started playing it, and I beat some kid. And all of a sudden, I beat his friend. And there was a fucking line of people trying to beat me. It's Street Fighter 2. Like 3-4 people lined up trying to beat me over and over again. And I beat them to the point where they quit. And that was the only time I ever beat anybody at anything, or, was good at competition in any way, shape, or form. But it felt awesome. I was like, man, this is great. And they weren't happy, but I was very happy. So
you were lucky enough to have been the best player there that day. I mean, even though you sucked balls.
They couldn't defend against the drop kick, Ken's drop kick. And then like his little spin kick where he goes that thing where he like spins around.
I did the spare jets or something like that. Yeah.
They literally could not defend against it. And I bet you it was really frustrating, but it felt good to me. It's just a shame that it like competition's a zero-sum game, right? There's no way you can like both be happy. It's like so what? It's the the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
That's chess as well. Every time I feel like, man, I did awesome in that game, there's probably another half dozen games where I'm just like, I don't want to talk about this. That happens when Charity beats me. She'll want to talk about the game. I'm just like, I'm not ready to yet. Give me a couple of days, please.
It's too soon. My king died. It's too soon.
There's no more humbling a game than chess, because like it's your brain against someone else's brain.
Yeah. And then some asshole shows up out of nowhere with anal beads in his butt and fucking crushes everybody, So
oh my god, Hans Niemann.
That was good times.
Unsung hero of NetherRealm, I guess. He's like been a constant NetherRealm topic.
Him and Godo.
Deal with him and the beans. Oh, fucking hell. We're not doing a diary today, are we? We're not doing that.
All right.
Oh, you want me to?
Well, Luke, I was just gonna say, are we done with NetherRealm, or?
You know what? I haven't done diaries for a while because of the tournament, so I'm kind of feeling it. Let's do a diary entry here. Everyone can see that I have it ready, especially the viewers here.
Right, we're very prepared at all times for
the things
that are coming.
That's right.
So,
all right. So, you know what? Let's go with Bread Club for Life. This is the Kojima diary.
Okay.
I like that Kojima is writing diaries for the New Japan Pro Wrestling Fan Club, even though, like, he's not necessarily an active member of the company.
You think that he writes diaries for the other promotions too?
This is that's what I want. Hey Jay, will there be an all-together fucking diary-a-thon? Do you know? And will you get access to all the other promotional diaries from?
Well, I think what happens is that Mr. Bread writes them and sends them to the other companies, but they just don't. They're like, okay, this is not
diaries. We don't do diaries here.
Thanks for sending.
Twin Peaks. Get out of here.
They all think that they're best friends with Kojima, and they're just getting a letter from him. That's what it is. So,
oh my goodness! All right, so this is episode 307. Man, he's got that many. Collect them in a book. I'd read those. It's called. Oh, I say that now. He might be blank. I can't remember. It's called A Sudden Resignation. It is dated January 24th this year, 2024.
Thoughts on Okada?
Oh no! All right. Hello, everyone. It's your fortnightly Kojima here. This will be my second diary of the year, and it's almost February already. Time really flies by, doesn't it? On the 14th of January, there was a TTGC training seminar at Minato-ku, Tokyo. It's something up.
It stands for Three Dads, Jim.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It's something I've been involved in for a long time. It's been more than 5 years since I started TTGC, but a few years ago, it became a remote learning class. But I'm still doing it, even though it's undergoing a lot of changes. My own concept of working out has changed a lot since I started doing this type of event-based training, while also wrestling matches. As a trainer, I'm almost an amateur, but many people tune in to learn from me. Yeah, look at you. It works, whatever you're fucking doing. Jesus Christ, you're in his mid-50s and
so
holy shit.
he said that he likes to do this event-based training while wrestling matches.
Yeah,
so
right.
Is that like, is he sending secret signals to the people at home, and that's the training that's going on while he's wrestling matches?
When he's doing the training and someone just runs at him and he just goes lariat, and
it's like Steven Seagal. Everybody runs at him and he just
yeah, he's just like with his hands. I've seen those videos.
That one's great. He does the Dusty Rhodes. That's right.
I've been down that YouTube rabbit hole, and it is absolutely incredible.
He's such a great guitar player too. He's
he's such a great whatever he says he is. He's that kind of guy. Man, what an idiot! Not Mr. Bread though. Steven Seagal. I went to a training facility in Minato Ward and reunited with Mr. Sauer, who had told me about this job. The reason I say reunited is because Mr. Sauer is a former professional wrestler, and I had the experience of competing against him once. Lingerie Muto is a name that certainly jumps off the page.
What?
Lol. Anyway, I have the experience of having a match with Lingerie Muto. His real identity is Mr. Sauer, cosplaying as Keiji Muto. Wait. Mr. Sauer was a wrestler who wore women's underwear, but since he retired from professional wrestling, he became involved in the exercise business, which led to this reunion. Either way, I was very happy to see Sauer-san again and to have so many people participate.
So somewhere out there, there is a Lingerie Muto versus Mr. Bread match. I would like to find that and maybe watch it, maybe not.
You say maybe, and I say, why have I never seen this match before? Hook this up to my veins, please. Especially if this motherfucker gets a lariat too. I'll be laughing. Oh my god. Mr. Sauer was a wrestler who wore women's underwear. Since he retired, he's in the exercise business. Either way, I was very happy to see Sauer-san again and to have so many people participate. I'm not very good with events like this, but everyone around me helped me out, making it a very enjoyable experience. And then, on the 19th, the announcement came suddenly that Kazuchika Okada was leaving the promotion. I can't even escape him in fucking diaries. I had not been clued in at all. I was so surprised. It is no exaggeration to say that Okada is a top wrestler, not only in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but also the current Japanese pro wrestling scene.
So no one smartened him up. That's what he's saying. He's like, it was a surprise to me. I got work too, brother.
That's right. Don't think Kojima's in the loop, but I know. I'd put him in the loop.
He's in the loop of bread. Like you
He's in the
ever
bread
had
loop.
that? I used to buy these. It was like a loop of bread that had cheese in it and sauce in the middle. That was good shit.
The reason why Makabe's burgers are used with pretentious bread is just to satisfy Makabe.
What a great bread company. If your bread company's name is Pretentious Bread, you can charge whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like it's anytime somebody's like, why is it so pretentious bread? You know. I like it.
Man, that's crazy. So crazy that might actually work. And bread's not that expensive to make, is it? So let's go. We're in the bread business now, Mr. Guy. Welcome to the Never Bread podcast. Anyway, he's putting fucking Okada over like everyone does. And his departure had a tremendous impact on all quarters. It was a surprise to me as a pro wrestler. But I think the surprise of the fans is probably even bigger.
Be respectful, Luke. Those are Kojima's words that you're slurring.
Oh, sorry. All right, I'll pick it up for this next paragraph, but I went through the previous one again. I'm sorry. I myself had the experience of leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling once before in 2002. And when I left the company, I had a lot of trouble making the decision anyway. As a result, the staff, the wrestlers, and the fans gave me a good send-off, and I was able to continue enjoying my wrestling. I then rejoined New Japan Pro Wrestling and have remained here to the present day. But anyway, I vividly remember the situation when I left the company. Okada is so great that there is no comparison between me back then and present-day Okada. But anyway, I can only wish him the best as a fellow wrestler. Yeah, I like you more. Anyway, I've had 3 singles matches with this Okada. My first match was at the G1 Climax in 2013. I managed to win my first singles match. Ooh, I want to watch that. And the following month in Kobe, I challenged him for the IWGP title he held. Nah, that's your first mistake. You're not going to win that. Looking back, it was truly a miracle to be able to defeat the overachieving Okada and challenge for the IWGP Championship the following month. He's one of the greatest assets in my life as a professional wrestler. Everyone wants to blow smoke up this guy. He wouldn't even leave on his back.
He was he's one of the best wrestlers to ever live, Luke. So that's undeniable. And it's funny because you're annoyed that people like him, and then you annoy me by, annoying. You got to pass that off and annoy me with that. So.
I don't know anyone whose favorite New Japan wrestler is Kazuchika Okada.
I mean, that was definitely he was definitely mine at one time. So
yeah, well,
there's
probably fucking Naito existed, and then
there's probably literally a million Americans who the only pro wrestler that they even have heard of from New Japan and it sticks in their head is Kazuchika Okada. So and there's probably a million Japanese people who their favorite wrestler.
Yeah, all right, I get it. Everyone just wants to.
You just don't know them. And apparently, I think it's really nice that Kojima's listen, this guy's leaving, but here's some matches. I'm trying to get the rub on him leaving. Kojima's very politely trying to get the rub from Okada while he's
he's saying it was great to challenge him for the title, but he also mentioned that our first match, I whooped his ass.
That's right.
That's the match I want to watch.
He's Kojima is very nicely saying, "Oh, Okada's leaving. Oh, I beat him."
Kojima's doing me a favor, and it's just hey, do you want to see me beat Okada? Yes. Well, it exists. G1 Climax 2013. Yeah, I'm into that. Thank you. Anyway, the announcement of the departure from New Japan Pro Wrestling of an athlete at the center of Japanese wrestling world was shocking in many ways. But as a fellow wrestler, I hope I can support him with all my strength. If I am still a pro wrestler, I hope we can meet again somewhere. So I'll see you in 2 weeks. And in podcast terms, we'll see you in 5 months.
Or it's we'll see you in 3 weeks on Dynamite, and I'm losing. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what he's talking about. But I don't know. Now that they got Okada and Takeshita, I don't think they're bringing in Brett anymore, which is a shame. So
No. And see, everyone's excited for what they're going to do with these guys. And I'm just like, just do something good with Jay White. I don't care what else you do. Have him feud with Swerve or join forces with Swerve so they can be buddies and just heal it up and destroy everyone. And that'll be my wrestling for AEW. Please and thank you.
okay, just watching the Jay White segments then, huh?
Oh, yeah. He's still my favorite.
God,
I heard him do a
so
face
so
promo
weird.
once, but it was, yeah.
just-
I don't know. He's got the Ring of Honor stank belts. They need to get him off that trio and like,
They have the Ring of Honor stank belts.
yeah.
Yeesh. That's like you have to perpetually feud with the Kingdom if you have those belts. Like that's like man, I don't like those guys. Man, there's a lot about AEW that I would not want to watch. I guess that's why I don't watch it. So
I tell you what, like there's some things I'm really enjoying about AEW right now, like Small Joe, Swerve. Well, fucking anytime I just glimpse Jay White because he's my boy, like Eddie Kingston. There's things I like, but on the whole, I'm like, you know what? I'm happy for this to be background until something interesting I like comes on. I don't know.
let me ask you a question. How many matches has Will Ospreay even had in AEW? He had the match with Kyle Fletcher. I watched that. Is it like 5 or less?
He also had a match against Konosuke Takeshita, but he hasn't had
Oh,
that many
right.
matches.
But people
See,
love that, right?
They're
So
bringing him in, and yes, he's had a couple great matches, but now they're bringing him in. Oh, and now, and in this episode, an appearance by Will Ospreay. I'm like, man, I don't want to see him appear. Every time if he was on a New Japan show, guess what he'd be doing every night? Wrestling.
well, that's
Be
how
either
they
a
tell their
6-man
stories.
tag or a fucking main event match. So
But that's
it doesn't.
that's why I don't like American wrestling really because
Because
it's
it
like
doesn't excite me when you tell me that someone's on the show. What are they doing? They're
we'll hear
talking.
from them,
I
you know.
don't want to hear from them. Like either let me see them whoop ass, or let someone whoop their ass. So like I get a heel story or something. I don't know anything.
So the fans really like Will Ospreay, right? They're like,
Yeah,
he's super over, and it's
I
because
can't. Yeah,
it's because he had good matches, right? That's why.
yeah,
So that's good. And I feel like that what you're complaining about is the thing that is actually going to keep wrestlers like, Mercedes Moné and Will Ospreay actually special for other people. You don't like it, but I bet you there's a lot of people that do, and they are eating up whatever AEW is selling, and they're going to love it when they finally wrestle. And so, I mean, this is like classic American wrestling booking that you're saying you don't like. So, I mean, I don't like it either, Luke. I'm with you. I don't fucking like it at all. That's why I don't watch it.
I've never felt inclined to do an AEW podcast. There's that. Do I enjoy it? Yeah, sure, to varying degrees. But
Sounds like you don't.
yeah,
So,
it's not as high as it used to be, and I'm just like, look, stop bringing in the new hotness and work with what you got. I want to see more people break through like Swerve than less people like that. I'm like, what are you even doing with Pentagon? Stop acting like Phoenix is the better brother and fucking do something with this dude. Like
that's their business model. Their business model is the next new big thing, and it's been that way since they started.
Yeah,
so like,
over, man.
How many times have you seen a tweet that's like, "Oh, big announcement from Tony Khan"? I mean, they do it every week, and to me, that's like the whole thing where it's like, well, if you see 1,000 super kicks, the super kick doesn't work anymore, really. And so like that shit, I got pissed. I'm like complaining about that shit a long time ago, and they're still doing it. And it's like, okay, if that's their business model, then that's what their show is the new guy every time. And then eventually they're just a guy.
Yeah.
It's so sad, Luke. We should be upset about it.
I think I'm more upset about that. Definitely way more upset about that. And I want to continue to beat that horse. I want to know what other weird 3 random word things that Makabe is going to go. I want outtakes from that. where they're like, Dreamwatch, Saint. What else have you got? And he just
Well,
three random words.
Did he name that new Dream Card thing? What's the name of the show? It's like,
I know what you mean.
know what I'm talking about? So like,
Yeah, yeah.
Pro Baseball Card Game Dream Order. That's Makabe shit right there, man. Game Dream Order.
You're right.
Sure.
You're absolutely right. Oh my goodness.
He named a burger that.
Yeah. No one bought one. Except for him.
And then he ate them all.
That's right.
It's like, don't get high on your own supply, Makabe, and he just eats all the burgers.
No, he's the Tony Montana of fucking hamburgers.
Say
hello to my little friend. And it's a fucking double whopper.
Pile of burgers on his just shoves his face in the pile of burgers. Comes up, he's got burgers coming out his nose. I mean,
that's right. Oh my god. Yeah.
Good movie.
Yeah, it is. Brian De Palma as well. He's good. Untouchables. I like the Untouchables more, but yeah,
that's a good movie. I was just talking about the movie we were making up, and that was good.
Oh yes,
yes. Those movies are also good, I guess.
Makabe Face. What would you call it?
I don't know, but man, like Highlander gets fucking shot like 1,000 times in Untouchables, man. Like he's like Sean Connery's like invincible in that movie. He gets shot literally like 20 times with like a Tommy gun. He's still crawling down the hallway. Here, take the cross.
That's because he brought a knife to a gunfight. That's why he's got like.
And because the scene we find out in that scene that he is drinking. And so it's like that thing where in a horror movie the virgin has sex and then they die right away. It's like that. So like he's working with Elliot Ness. They're trying to bust up the alcohol and the prohibition, do all that shit, and he's drinking at home, and then he gets killed. And it's like, get out of here with your fucking high horse morals, Untouchables, the movie.
Yeah, that movie's weird. In the movie, they take Capone out action style, and then they have the wussy guy make nonstop jokes about his taxes the whole time. It's a good movie. I like it.
I like it. The baby in the baby carriage going down. I mean, that's tremendous, right? But yeah, I've seen it many times.
I put that movie on every couple of years, and it's awesome. But yes, it's Untouchable as well.
I mean,
try to. My fingers.
That's a good one, Luke.
Thanks. Mm-hmm. That's yeah. Could have clapped for me as well. Something, I don't know. But yes, I feel like unless that Mr. Guy has anything else that he'd like to discuss. In Mr. Bread's bread, pretentious bread, we trust.